It's actually, I consider it one of the cornerstones of representative democracy, or in particular of accountable leadership.
I see. Is it a picture that you have?
Yeah, it's a painting.
Okay.
It's not my painting. It's very famous. It's been done. The story's very famous. It's been
Yeah.
done a number of times, and yeah, I don't suppose I should monopolise the session.
No, no, no. We haven't really started yet.
Oh.
So,
Well,
but
King David's been a very naughty boy, and Prophet Nathan confronts him over it, and King David acknowledges his sin.
okay.
It's
Hello,
sort of the paradigm of telling truth to power, if you like.
so hi everyone. We're at the top of the hour, so the right people are here. So we'll make some introductions, uh, and so that we can get to know each other. And I'm Marilyn Turkovich, and I'm with the Charter for Compassion, the director. And this is, I think, I don't know, it seems like we've done a lot of these this week, and it's only Wednesday. But every 5 weeks or so, we travel around the globe and we meet up with people who are interested in the Charter for Compassion, involved with the Charter for Compassion, um, and in some cases, representing compassionate partners and communities. So, this is our effort with New Zealand and Australia. And so, I'm wondering if we could go around and introduce ourselves, let people know where you're from. You might want to even put your name in the chat and where you're from. And so, in case somebody gets excited about something that you've said, they can communicate with you directly through chat here and maybe continue the conversation offline. And so, Aileen, you were the very first person here today, I think. So I'm going to start with you, and I'll just follow the way that the lineup is here on Zoom.
Okay. I'm Eileen Dooligill. I know Andrew and Merida from the Catalyzing Healthy Cultural Transformations course that I'm doing. So, hi, it's nice to see you both. And I'm in, I get a bit confused about this, but I'm in Sydney in the inner west. I don't get confused about that bit, obviously.
I was going to say, yeah.
Okay. No, I don't get, but I get confused about which Indigenous land it is.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's the Darug Nation, the Darug clan of the Wongal Nation. So it's along the Cooks River. So that's where I'm from in Sydney.
Great. Is that like right in Sydney proper?
Yeah. No, it's not in the harbour. It's in the inner west.
Okay,
So
great.
It's about 15 kilometres from the harbour.
Okay, and you are Eileen as opposed to Aileen.
No, I'm Eileen.
Eileen. Okay. Okay, in. Okay. Great. Thank you for that correction. Okay. David, you are next. And actually, you were the second person who arrived.
Right. So, okay, David Cohen. I live in Melbourne, Australia. This is my first time. I'm particularly interested actually in um, this complementary idea of empathic joy
Oh, okay.
um, as also important in human relationships. I'm writing a book on that,
Ah,
using some writings of Saint Paul.
I think, is there not, and maybe Terry can help me with this, is there not a woman who's a partner to the Charter for Compassion from Australia who is, maybe it's Laughter and Joy. She has an organization, but we'll try and find that out.
Right. Mm.
Okay, Merida.
Hi. So I'm Merida McCarthy, and I'm based in Mexico, so I have nothing to do with New Zealand. But I'm program coordinator at the Charter for Compassion. So I'm I like to be in these allies because I get to know who our new partners are and what's happening all around the world, and that can help give some perspective and sort out the database and all those things that I am involved in. So lovely to be here, and I'm sorry I missed catalyzing yesterday, but I will be there next.
Good. Okay. It seems that there are people who keep signing up for it, or at least it seems like it coming my way on the internet. Okay, Andrew.
Live in the Blue Mountains outside of Sydney. I'm the Stable Planet Alliance lead for our League of Evolutionary Catalysts. And as several know, we're running a course now on transformational social change.
Great. How's it going, everyone? I mean, looks like there's 3 of you who are involved in it. I don't know, Kate, if you're involved or not.
I think it's going terrifically. People are appreciative, keen, learning. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, I went in and I looked at some of the comments today. So that's always a good sign when people are interacting with one another. So thank you for that. Kate.
Sorry, Marilyn, sorry, were you talking to me just before?
I was.
I apologize.
No
I
problem.
apologize. I wasn't sure whether it was me or another Kate on the webinar. Hello, how do you do? Lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet everybody. I just put in the chat, I'm from Queensland, Australia. I'm in Logan City, southeast Queensland. I'm actually a sort of a new end-of-life doula, and a friend of mine, Lisa Bahan, she's from Creative Collaborations and Mind Settle. She there was another a webinar a few weeks ago, but I had a death chat event thing in the city, so I couldn't attend. That was the 21st, I think it was. All day. It was a Charter for Compassion. It was an Australian thing. It was like an all day sort of a seminar, webinar thing. And I did try to encourage other people to go or to attend, but I couldn't that day, unfortunately. But yeah, Lisa, a friend of mine, and we sing with Brisbane Threshold Singers, which is part of the worldwide Brisbane Threshold Choir. If you know Threshold Choir. It's global, started by Kate Munger, I think in California a few decades ago. So yeah, that's singing to people who are transitioning or dying. But that's how I know Lisa, and she sort of got me involved in looking into Charter for Compassion. So yeah, so that's why I'm here. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And here comes Terry. He can tell you all about the 21st.
Hello, everyone. Terry Ayling's my name. I'm formerly from the Gold Coast and the Compassionate Gold Coast organisation. I'm now living on the Redcliffe Peninsula at Scarborough, and I lead the work of the Charter here in Australia. Yes, on the 21st of September, we had our 5th National Day of Compassion, which started with a global live event that Marilyn and Dr. Stan Steindl and Hugh Mackay, who's our global and national compassion ambassador, and others spoke at. And then it was continued with a day of sessions on a range of compassion in action focused seminars. We're planning to, they are all uploaded now to the global and soon to the Australian Charter for Compassion websites. So they're available for people to look. They're all available free of charge. And we are planning to perhaps rerun them in November, which is a big month globally for the work of the Charter for Compassion, but also other global compassion events. So we'll be rerunning those as well for people that might have have missed them. This time we conducted as you can see from the logos in the top right hand of our screen, our aspiration as the Charter for Compassion is Deep Dreaming Australia, a continent for compassion. And this year's theme was Compassion in Action. And for the first time, we did it in partnership with the Global Compassion Coalition. And Kate, you and I might have met or attended the Compassionate Communities Forum in Brisbane quite recently. And so there are a number of large global compassion movements, including the Charter for Compassion, the Global Compassion Coalition, and the Compassionate Communities Network. And in Australia, we're doing what we can to not only communicate, but collaborate with those three organisations for all the great work that's happening in compassion. So sometimes that can lead to a little confusion in terms of which group you're connecting with, because each of the groups have, different events, but we are trying in Australia to coordinate that as best we can, and to celebrate the fact that together we're working towards our aspiration of Australia as a continent for compassion.
Thanks. Thank you, Terry. I don't think I was at the recent, was that an in-person conference you're talking about?
Yes, yeah. The Compassionate Communities Conference was a one-day conference held in Brisbane immediately before the Oceanic Palliative Care.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I didn't get to either, unfortunately, but thank you. Thank you for all that. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll meet up in person one of these days. Thank you.
And you're right with Lisa's introduction, as she's one of the Global Compassion Coalition community connectors.
Yes.
And we're delighted to have 2 songs from the Brisbane Threshold Singers as part of our National Day of Compassion.
Fabulous. That's fabulous. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry. Vishnu, welcome. We're just going around and you just popped in here, so you're next. But what we're doing is we're just introducing ourselves, saying where we're from. And in your case, I think I know your organization, but I know it from India and not from Australia. So I'm interested in the connection.
Yeah, thanks, Marilyn. Yeah, this Heartfulness Institute is about meditation. It's a heart-based meditation. It is originated in India, but it's all over the world now, around 160 countries. Yeah, I've been part of many communities with Brahma Kumaris and some of the churches in Hornsby, where they were celebrating International Day of Peace. That's how I came to know about this Charter of Compassion. So I joined this because we are all in the same boat, trying to spread the compassion and love to each other. Yeah, so this meditation has been in place in Australia for more than 30 years now, but we are not commercial, so may not be knowing, many people may not be knowing about us. But now slowly we are expanding, because now people are coming to meditation to calm themselves. Yeah. So that's my background. So I am from Sydney, and I am running some sessions in Waverley Library, then Maroubra, Neutral Bay, Abbotsford, and my office in the city, Sydney city. So multiple places. So I'm one of the trainers.
Heartfulness has a very big complex, doesn't it? Is it in Bangalore?
It's in Hyderabad.
Hyderabad, yes. Okay. Yes, right. Yeah, and a wonderful magazine, I might say, as well. And
Yeah, that's run by a lady called Elizabeth Denley. She's from Australia, from Melbourne. Yeah, so she is the editor for the magazine, Heartfulness magazine.
Okay. And you said you work with the Brahma Kumaris as well?
Yes, we collaborate with Brahma Kumaris. We collaborate with some of the churches in the northern suburbs. Yeah, I go to their church for the peace commemoration and some functions.
Yeah, the charter's very
Vishnu, I was in, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Vishnu, I was in in Toowoomba on behalf of the Charter for Compassion recently to recognise Toowoomba's designation as an international city of peace.
Awesome.
And the multi-faith community have been very involved in that initiative there. And there were people there from the Heartfulness Institute that I met. So it's been
That's
a
nice.
lovely connection.
Great.
Yeah, thanks, Terry.
Well, very good. What I was going to say simply is that the Charter for Compassion has a close relationship with the Brahma Kumaris. I mean, it's been a delightful experience for us to have that. So what's happening in Australia, because it seems that everyone's from Australia, in your neck of the woods with compassion, and maybe this is an extension of what Terry talked about, Australia dreaming. And so what might be the dream that you have for a compassionate Australia? What would you like to see happening in Australia? I'm just curious if we could get a collected vision here, or a glimpse of a vision.
Well, my vision is that peace groups, compassion groups, environmental groups recognize the terror of the moment and the need to change the system that drives it. I often show this cartoon by Tony Biddle, and that we become what might be called citizen educators or evolutionary catalysts, and have friendly, in-depth conversations with people we know to give people a space to think freshly about the realities of our time.
Yeah. It was interesting in our National Public Radio broadcast this morning. There's an individual whose name escapes me. Who's written a book on James Baldwin, who some of you probably know the name, an African-American writer who lived a good part of his life in exile in France, and who wrote really quite prolifically about race relations and a number of other things, but wonderful novels as well. And the highlight of listening to this presentation was that Baldwin's analysis about the future, or this visioning of a future, was that this is all dependent on love. That we can forgive and reconcile with the past, but unless we make a decision, a firm decision to love, there will never be that International Day of Peace. And it reminded me a little bit of what you said, Vishnu, about the heartfulness coming from meditation from the heart. So I just thought I'd share that. But thank you.
I mean, one of the issues, of course, for us, and the deep dreaming concept comes out of Indigenous spirituality, and so the first 4 of our national days were connected with kind of deep dreaming and deep wisdom and deep listening, the notion of Didiri. And the Charter put a lot of work into supporting the voice referendum, and very sadly that was lost. So it's a conundrum for us that if we want to deep dream a continent for compassion, then one of the really significant things is to tell the truth about our history and acknowledge the injustices to our First Peoples, and work creatively together towards a more hope-filled future. So the fact that that continues to be somewhat of a focus of our work about how do we set things right, because how can we see that we're a compassionate community if we're not resolving those issues? But so that's one of the things that we aspire to do, to continue to walk with First Nations people, but also to celebrate the great things that are happening And some of those things are happening within different dimensions of the compassionate communities.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. What about others? I mean, if have you thought much about this, and like what might be the vision of compassion, love, and hope that you might be thinking about?
I'll just put a comment up in the chat.
Okay.
Asking the question is, when we use the word love, what do we mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll add a bit that I think women, okay, I'm making the comment that we don't really know what it means. It could mean anything. But women can manage with that, but men can't. I mean, when women can manage with a vague meaning of the word love, because you're more empathetic, but men can't manage unless we need to get more clarity.
Hmm.
Anyway, so
Okay.
people use the word love. Well, what do you mean?
Well, I'm pretty clear about that. There are various words, compassion. I like Riane Eisler's distinction between partnership respect relating
Mhm.
paired with domination control. I don't think we can choose, most people can't choose to love because so many of us have been injured in childhood. We have unresolved trauma. So in terms of evolving a loving society, a healthy, caring society, giving support to new parents to bring out more of the nurturing side is a key leverage point. And those of us who want to be social activists in this space, we would do well to lobby insurance companies and area health services to put more energy in that kind of a thing.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Thank you for your effort. I might be very stupid, but it doesn't help me much. One thing I think is love can be a noun or a verb. And in other aspects of the English language, the connection between the noun and the verb is clear, like jump. Jump could be a noun or a verb, and it's pretty clear what we mean. But with love, the connection between noun love and verb love is not at all clear.
So is it not an existential word as well, that you're always working towards something?
Oh, okay. Let me put it another way.
Let Vishnu, I'm sorry, Vishnu, I didn't see your hand before. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So for me, love is a very potent word because when we meditate, we realize that our existence is more and more for others than ourselves. When we put ourselves in front of us, that's a kind of love. And when we sacrifice our time for others, that's love. And when we become insignificant and not only get and only give, that's love. To me, that's my explanation.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you. You know, this brings to mind a part of what we wanted to share with you today, because the charter, the international charter, has 4 big events that we've been working towards for quite some time. The first one, I have a little slide presentation, it's very short. And maybe I'll do that. And then I'd love to delve, maybe if we have time, into this revision or rewording of the Charter for Compassion, Charter 2.0, which we will unveil on November 12th. Because I think it's a very significant document. It has the minds and hearts of many people that have contributed to it, either online or in webinars that we've had, group meetings. to really take a deep dive into some of the conversation that we have right now. Let me share my screen. This is not where I want to go immediately. I want to go to the slide deck first. And sorry for not being so very professional here. There we go. So some of the things that might be of interest to you are new. This is since the last time that we had a gathering here. We have been given by Eckhart Tolle and his partner Kim Eng a course that we're offering free. They encouraged us to put it on our own platform, which we have done. It's called Embodied Presence. And as many of you know, that Tolle is really a revered individual. There's,
Marilyn,
yes,
sorry, I think we're not seeing your presentation.
you're not?
So I see the Charter for Compassion Transformation.
Oh,
Charter.
okay. Let me, sorry about that.
Okay.
So do you see it now?
There we go.
Okay, okay, good. So this,
No, we see the words embodied presence, Eckhart Tolle, and Kim Eng.
yes,
New self-directed course. That's all we see.
yeah, that's what you should be seeing.
Okay.
Okay, so this is all part of, if you went to the homepage of the Charter for Compassion, you would find all of this listed, hopefully very easy to find. This is under courses and you can click on it. It's a self-directed course. You can experience it in your own time period. A lot of videos are a part of this. So that's a brand new offering. And here's the second thing. We regularly have each month global reads where we select a book. Hopefully people could read the book before they come. Most often they don't. But it might be just an opportunity for people to come and explore. This book, Everything is a Story, looks at the power of stories. It's written by an indigenous person from the Potawatomi Nation, which is a tribal area between northern part of the United States and southern part of Canada. And so that'll be next week. So if one of the things, if you can't make these, because oftentimes they're difficult times, you know, for people who live in various parts of the globe. But we always record everything. We archive it so you can come back and see and hear. The other thing that we're starting this month is hopefully a multi-year journey of offering compassion-based cognitive-based compassion training. It's in conjunction with Emory University and with, well, really the financial help of the Dalai Lama over the last 15 years in helping to research and develop this course. So we will start next week. We've had some problems with the platform that is coming out of Emory University. And in fact, we finally got the platform this morning and hopefully we're practicing right now with it. The course is being delivered in 4 different time zones, 4 different courses. And this is a great opportunity for people who might really be interested not only in neuroscience and meditation, but might be interested in thinking about this as a stepping stone to considering, would they like to teach something like CBCT, the Cognitive-Based Compassion Training? And this is the first exposure. It's a full course, 10 weeks long. And it comes with an app, and the app is really quite, I think it's a good app. I worked with it, and because we practiced with it and had it as part of our own course for training from May until the end of July this year. And it functions really quite wonderfully. It's a combination of I guess animation to a certain extent and drawings, as well as the content information. So this is, we're looking to have these 4 sections, and if people want to continue, there will be a retreat early next year, which will be the next step. For people to continue. You don't have to continue, but the retreat is the stepping stone into the trainer, another 10-week experience, and then another 10-week experience for practicum, and then actually a 2-year, you can be teaching during that time period, but it's 2 years of teaching before you're granted a final certificate. But I've gone through all of that as Merida. Merida's a step ahead of me, and she'll be teaching 2 of the sections that are of the 4 sections that are being offered. One of them she'll be doing in Spanish. Here's our big thing, and we really would hope that all of you would attend, but at the same time, it's our Global Youth Conference, and we would hope that you would help to spread the word about this conference. We started last year as the first conference for Global Youth. We have a Global Youth Coordinator, strategists with the Charter for Compassion. We have a Global Youth Advisory Board who helped establish this. A good 90% of all of the workshops, keynotes, and panels will be presented by young people under the age of 35, and it'll be a 3-day event. The last day, October 30th, will be a day that is given to Kids' Rights, which is an organization in the Netherlands, and they are like the alternative youth prize, peace prize for youth. They have celebrated last November their 25th year. Their prize is significant. They were the first to acknowledge Malala, the first to acknowledge Greta Thunberg, as well as 23 outstanding other youth. The award is $100,000 to the youth, with a promise of additional education for not only the person who wins the prize, but also for his or her entire family for their education. And so you'll even be able to hear some of those winners of that award. I've already talked a little bit, and I'll come back to this, but over the last 9 months or so, we have been seriously looking at the language of the Charter for Compassion, the emphasis that was part of the original charter that was unveiled at the United Nations in 2009. And it was on November 12th. So we're holding close to that date, November 12th, to unveil this new Charter 2.0. I'd like to share a tiny bit of that charter with you in a minute or so. And we will have 2 different times where we will be addressing the launch of this. One that would be convenient to people in Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific area, as well as one that would go from the United States all the way to India. And then our big event is on November 15th. We do this once a year. This is the 8th time we're doing it, sharing the Karen Armstrong Humanitarian Award. And we've talked a little bit here today about Indigenous wisdom, and one of the awards will be going to Lila June Johnston, and she is a Navajo Dine Indigenous leader. She is a scientist, an environmentalist, a musician, a storyteller, an artist, a poet, and just an extraordinary human being. And she is one of the people who will be getting the award. And so we we're really excited about this particular program. It's 90 minutes long. Lots of music with an invitation for you to hear some of our cultural ambassadors, music ambassadors in particular, that will be a part of this sharing experience. And then the last slide is something that's going to happen January 21st, 22nd next year. And it's a global look at democracy around the world. We've been planning now for 4 months, and we'll use the rest of this year to plan for that conference. Again, it'll be a virtual conference. We have confirmation from a couple exciting speakers. We're looking to global leaders, both politicians as well as grassroots leaders, to be present for this conference. It is our hope that this conference will launch for the Charter for Compassion a brand new Institute of Transformation. And we're starting slowly by having a podcast that will begin next month. And Jennifer Nadel, who is the founder of Compassion in Politics from the UK, will be the facilitator, host of that particular series of podcasts. And I think we have a pretty good lineup of people already who have been political leaders, political activists that will be introduced through the podcast, and we will continue the podcast after the virtual conference, and then hopefully begin to launch some of the activities that will be a part of the Transformation Institute. So that's just a little bit about what we've been doing in the last few months since the last time that we met. But I don't know, did I hear someone who wanted to say, Andrew, were you going to say something? I don't know.
Just laughing at how lazy you've been.
Yeah, we have been a little bit lazy. And in fact, we've been, the last week we have been to Emory University to really look seriously at the work on the cognitive-based compassion training and what it will mean to not only the charter's work, but there were 100 people in attendance from all over the world. I mean, from Mongolia to Sweden, from Switzerland to Brazil, from Taiwan to Canada. It was just a wonderful gathering of people, looking at strategically, how is it that 2 programs, the CBCT program, but also the C-Learning, social, emotional, and ethical learning for younger people, can really help us frame and begin to work from the bottom up in education. And that certainly CBCT, very possibly working from leaders, global leaders, people in healthcare, people in business, so that the model of collaboration is really hopefully a very solid one. But let me, if you wouldn't mind, I just like, and I don't want to read the whole Charter for Compassion 2.0, but I'll just start right here, skipping that first part there. But we, the global community of Earth, stand at a threshold moment in human and planetary history. The principle of compassion, which has always resided at the heart of all religious, ethical, spiritual, and indigenous tradition, now calls us to a profound transformation, from separation to kinship, from charity to justice, from competition to cooperation, and from human-centered thinking to universal awareness. We recognize that authentic compassion begins with the understanding that inner healing extends outward through just relationships, regenerative systems, and reverent care for all life. Compassion is both a deep awareness of suffering and a courageous commitment to transformation, addressing symptoms and root causes through intentional action and structural change. And let me see, I'll just end with the promise. By the way, this Compassion 2.0 is almost the same exact length as the original charter. The charter is our sacred promise to life itself, a commitment to embody the change we seek, to heal wounds we have inherited, and to plant seeds of flourishing for generations yet to come. It is an invitation to participate in the greatest story ever told, the story of life awakening to its own sacred nature and choosing love over fear, cooperation over domination, and healing over harm. So the program that we're putting together for November 12th will be a retrospective looking at two Charter for Compassion at 2009 with archival material from the UN, from the Washington Press Club revealing of the new charter, interviews, Karen Armstrong talking about the charter, some reflections of those early years, and then the latter part of the program will deal with this brand new charter with action steps that will be presented. And then that particular format that I just showed you is from a book. It's a 70-page book that we have put together that will be available so that the charter, this 2.0, can be used for discussion, for book clubs. It could be used for, we're thinking about a course, but at the same time, it's also, it has a lot of individual steps for people to follow on their own, but also ideas for organizations to implement. And so that will be available probably maybe late next week. We're just working on the formatting of it to put it on and make it available online. So that is kind of, I don't know, what did you think about what you heard so far of that charter?
I really like how inner healing is positioned so powerfully. So I'm very new to this area, so I haven't really heard a lot about the inner healing kind of aspect of climate change or climate activism before, but it seems like a really critical, it's kind of really obvious looking around the world at the moment, how critical that capacity to be whole and healthy on the inside is projected, around the world. So I really like that. I like the title, From Inner Healing to Planetary Flourishing, because I think it's really significant, a significant connection.
So we, it's been interesting because, we invited everyone who got the message to participate and send in their ideas, and a lot of people did. And that was how the original charter also was started. Karen Armstrong had the idea. The invitation went out by the TED organization, put it online, 180,000 plus people responded. And then it was synthesized, and there was a group pulled together called the Council of Conscience, and they were responsible for formulating the charter in 2009. We followed a similar format by inviting others online within our various communities that read the newsletter to respond, but then we also set up some informal groups that continued to meet for a number of months to talk about what should be in the charter, and we've shared that with a lot of people. I was working through the acknowledgements today for the booklet, and that's the only thing that we need to put in there. And there's so many people to thank for their contributions to putting this together. So we're very excited about it. So that's, I think, what we wanted to share. And so I'm hoping that some of you have some additional things to share as well.
I think the launch of the Charter 2.0 will be an opportunity for us to further galvanize, you know, our work here and give a more robust expression to our understanding and work. And so I'm certainly hoping that it becomes not only a call to action, but also a way of connecting the other compassion organizations and activists to kind of come together around that shared.
Yeah, we had a, for example, we had a meeting today with the GCC, the Global Compassion Council, with Rick Hansen and the new director for the GCC, who we had presented the new Charter 2.0 to them a few weeks ago, and we explored and continue to explore how the GCC and the Charter can come together. We have a new memo of understanding with the United Religions Initiative, which we will unveil in November. We'll have a number of sessions, at least 2, if not 3, that we're planning, where we're bringing together the 1,200 circles of the what they call cooperation circles of the United Religions Initiative in 125 countries of the world with the Charter folks. So that's another networking possibility that we have. We will be sharing courses starting in January with URI. We will also be sharing courses with an institute that was founded by Elaine Kairos Miller, who is a major contributor to the cognitive-based compassion training, and that will also start in January. And some of you who have been to these meetings before know that we have a memo of understanding signed, sealed, and delivered, so to speak, with the permanent secretary of the Nobel Peace Laureates. And we have already started to work on a conference, the next summit of the Peace Laureates that will be in Europe. Specifically, we believe it will be in the Vatican in May of next year. So that is another area of collaboration. And then the very, well, I don't know if it's the last one, but at least it's really quite an exciting one, is that we started a project maybe a year and a half ago called the Ubuntu Project on the continent of Africa. And we this past January, launched a film called The Spirit of Ubuntu, I Am Because You Are. And so we now have 40 different organizations that are part of our Ubuntu project. And just yesterday, we met with the Ubuntu Global, which is a totally different organization that is sponsored by the Portuguese government. So we will be combining the work of Ubuntu Global with our own Ubuntu project, as well as with URI, because they have a large presence in Africa. And more than likely, we will be having a gathering in Africa, starting in Uganda, going to Zimbabwe, and then to South Africa next summer, where we will hopefully bring all of these groups of people together. So there's a lot of movement internationally to try and break out of silos and to build strong bridges between organizations, and not to repeat and reinvent wheels as we travel this road of compassion and hopefully love and hope at the same time.
Marilyn, it sounds as though the Global Compassion Coalition's community connectors are particularly strong in Africa as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had their Festival of Compassion in Cape Town recently, and that was a sort of a significant commitment to the continent of Africa. So they might be good partners in that process as well.
Yeah. Well, I have participated in their connectors movement in Africa. Yeah. Okay, anything more? If not, I wish you well, and we'll see you in another 5 weeks or so. And love to hear what you've been doing in those 5 weeks time.
Thank
And an
you.
invitation, apart from the global charter website, of course, we have charterforcompassion.com.au here in Australia, and we'll be moving back to a quarterly newsletter shortly, but local events, including all the videos of our National Day for Compassion.
Great. Thank you.
Fabulous.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
Marilyn,
Bye.
Merida, Terry, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good job.
Looking forward to seeing you. Bye.